Now in this video session, we're going to discuss some of the aspects of our concept of traffics. Now, in our system, traffic is actually referring to typically large shipments that you get from overseas manufacturers. These are manufacturers that might be located in China. They're producing the goods to ship over to you, and typically they would come to you in the most efficient manner, some container ship where there's an extended period of transportation. And there's also needs to be some communication between the vendor and yourself about what actually is being loaded into the container and when you expect it to arrive. Now, let's talk about a traffic in the first place. I'm in my system here. I'm going to go under Logistics, select Traffic, and I'm going to pull up a traffic document that's already been created here. Now, the concept of traffic is I have placed orders with these vendors. I expect them to be shipped out at a certain time. I may not know when I place the purchase orders with the vendors exactly what's coming in and when, but at some point I am going to know that yes, we do have a ship scheduled to come in, and what purchase order quantities is this vendor going to be able to supply to me so I know what is coming my way. Now, when I open up this document, just to go over some basics here, I give it a description and I tell it which vendor that I'm working with. And then I can add purchase orders to this document. So basically, this is a communication between the vendor and myself. They're letting me know, yes, according to our production, we should have these purchase orders on this particular container ship. And that way, what we can do is start this document, add the purchase orders, which I've already done in this case. As you can see, according to our handy window on the right-hand side, I've got 6 purchase orders. And here's their various numbers that I've attached to this particular document. So once I know in very roundabout terms what purchase orders should be coming in on this particular container ship, what I can do is take a look at my receipt worksheet. So here are all the quantities of the particular items that were going to be on these purchase orders. What I can do is once I have this information, I can actually export a worksheet, an Excel worksheet that I can give to the vendor. As a matter of fact, I'll do that here. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate this Excel worksheet that I can then send to the vendor. And as you can see, it's going to have our traffic document number. Here's the PO number and the item numbers with the particular size and color variations, and the ordered quantities in here. And this way the vendor can actually fill in what quantities they are supplying at the end result and what container those particular items are in. So I can just hand that off to the vendor, and then when they actually have the final quantities that they can upload to us, what we can do is also set up that vendor as a portal user. So I'm in the main client of our particular software right now. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm just going to open up a web page, and you'll see we have a sign-on here. So as the vendor, once I have all the information, I can actually sign on. As long as I have an internet connection, all I need to go is to the proper URL. As you can see, the vendor being a limited view into the system, because all they really need to do is update us on these purchase orders in this particular traffic document. I see very limited information when I come in here. I see the number of purchase orders and everything. But what I'm interested in is giving my client the shipment notification. So as you can see, here are the traffic documents that we were just looking at. I'm going to go to the one in particular that I generated the sheet for. And as you can see, here's the quantities and everything that we were looking at before. But as the vendor, I'm now logging in and I want to import this. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring up the sheet, and I've filled in the quantities that I'm actually going to put on the ship, and maybe on some of these I don't have the full quantities. I can also specify the container number. I'll save this. But when I'm in this portal system, I can actually import that information. The system will prompt me to choose which file, which I've got right here. And I want to import the quantities and create the container. And now, as you can see, on those first 3 lines, or on this item number 10217, I had told the system on 3 different lines, because there were 3 different sizes, that I was getting 9 less than what I was originally anticipating on the PO. So you can actually see that I've got a difference here. But as a vendor, I'm just finished now. I have uploaded what it is exactly we are sending to you. And if I minimize this and go back into my system, and open up my receipt worksheet, now we are actually seeing our quantity in the container, which does match, in this case, my reduced quantity. All the rest of them are saying there that we're shipping exactly what they expected. But at this point in time, as the vendor, I'm done. I've updated the system and let you know what was coming. And now I can go ahead as someone on the back end here where I'm monitoring the vendor activity. I can go ahead and confirm these quantities and then move on to the next stage, which we'll address in the next video.